The way that this video is going to work is I'm going to introduce, oh my god. Hey guys, Allie YouTube here, and today I am going to be talking about my college classes. Last year I did a video similar to this, and I thought I'll do it again. This time I'm doing it earlier in the semester, just because I don't know how busy I am. I'll be like later in the semester, fairly busy just because of some of the stuff I'm going to talk about. But I don't want to be talking about them because at that point I'll be tired of them. Right now, it's I'm filming this the second week of school, so technically I'm fairly new to this, but I have a fair understanding of what I'm taking now. So yeah. So this semester, fall semester of my sophomore year, I am taking 5 classes. I took 5 classes last fall too. I was originally taking 6. I dropped 1 just because I was taking 19 units, max of 17. I thought I could do 19, but the added stress, I had to make a sacrifice. Luckily, I have enough time next semester to drop it. So right now I'm taking the max units for school. So I'm taking 5 classes every day of the week. I start either 8 or 9 depending on the day, and well, not exactly the same, 8, 10, and 9, 25, and I end by either 2:15 or 2:55, again, depends on the day. Fridays, I get more lenience. I don't have my 8 a.m., so I get to start technically at 11:40, but there's also chapel, so that is great. The way that this video is going to work is I'm going to introduce the class I'm taking, talk about the assignments I've had thus far, show you the books for those classes, and just talk a little bit about those classes. So, like I said, I am taking 5 classes. I'm taking elementary French, I'm taking Luke Acts, which is a Bible class studying, you know, the books, Luke, the Gospel of Luke, and then Acts of the Apostles. I'm taking a creative writing fiction class. There are like 2 other, technically 3, but 2 other creative writing classes. One is nonfiction and then poetry. Then I'm taking a literacy critical strategies class. And finally, I am taking an American literature class. It's American literature to 1865. So French is my early class. All of our work is online. Granted, we have a textbook. This is my textbook. It's a loose leaf book. It's behind all these extra papers, but it's generally this. I don't use that book that often just because I use it when I do homework, but it's different. My homework consists of the digital textbook site that you get a code that comes with that book. We use that site to do the homework and it gets graded automatically, as well as doing Duolingo. Our professor has it set up where we have to do, I think, 50 points worth of work due the day before class. So my class is Monday, Wednesday, so that means homework for that class on Duolingo and on my website are due Sunday at 11:59 for Monday, and then Tuesday at 11:59 for Wednesday. It's like a little bit easy. The way he teaches is that he'll go over the homework and talk about that in homework, in English, not in homework, but like he'll come in, tell us about things in English, and then we'll have a quiz. Every day there's a quiz. It's an easy quiz. I don't think I have one to show you. I think like we get a half sheet of paper like this, and it's upside down, but like we have to do, this is the first quiz. I don't have my second quiz back yet because we just took that on Wednesday because there's no school Monday. So like the first part was vocabulary, and we had to learn our numbers. So he wrote out the numbers in French, and we had to write out like regular numbers, like one was says, and so I put 16, so that, and those could be like a writing part, which we always practice in class. He always tells us what the writing portion is before the quiz so we could work on it, and honestly that's so helpful. And after we do our quiz, he will begin the lesson for the week, and he will talk only in French. So the next class I'm going to talk about is my Luke Acts Bible class. So little context, my school is a Christian college. I've mentioned it bunch of times, and because it's a Christian college, you have to take a certain amount of religion courses as a GE. So like first semester you have to take like Christian life, faith, ministry. Second semester you're supposed to take these, but like you have to take Christian life, faith, ministry, Exodus and Deuteronomy, Luke, Acts, a Bible class of your choice. And I have one in mind, but I'm not gonna say I'm gonna take it because there's no guarantee I'm gonna be able to take it because class sizes. And then after that you get one theology class, which that one I want to take, world religions. But the first 3 classes are mandatory topics. So yeah, we're doing Luke, Acts. We haven't really delved into the Bible much yet. Oh, we have 3 books for this class. This one is Introducing the New Testament. It's a really hardcover book. This book we only read the first 2 chapters of it. Sorry, first 3 chapters of it. And we were supposed to have a quiz on it, but we really didn't. We don't really have to bring that one to class. It's just for reading at home, and then it can stay here, which is good because it's one of my heavier books. And then we have reading the Bible in the margins. This one is my book that I have to bring to every class. This one, we're writing a book review on it, so I have it annotated a bit just so it makes it easier when I have to write my paper in a few weeks. It's due next month. And then our last book, obviously, is gonna have to be a Bible. This is a used Bible, but you see the dents and stuff. It was in better condition when I bought it. It's just putting it in my backpack and also leaving it in my car has not been kind to my Bible, so I try to keep it safe. Right now we're not really reading the Bible. We read the Bible once, and that was for homework last week, but so far we haven't picked it up again, and that's because right now we're not going to focus on the Gospel of Luke or Acts of the Apostles. Right now we're focusing on this because we have our book review due on October 9th, and when we finish this book, which will be soon because we're already on chapter 5 and 6 for next week. Oh no, 4 and 5 for next week, and there's like 8 chapters, I think. I'm pretty sure there's like 8 chapters. There's 7 chapters. We'll be done with that fairly soon. And when we're finished with that book, then we'll focus on the Gospel of Luke for an X amount of weeks. I don't know, I think it's gonna be like 3 or 4 weeks. And then the rest of the semester we'll cover the Acts of the Apostles. And we have quizzes once a week. I do have my quiz. I got a 10 out of 10 on it. Just because this quiz was easy. Actually, I like to show that quiz just because it's different from how we're normally gonna have it. It was just the first quiz. I think he wanted it to be easy, just so we like all get A's. We do have homework in that class every day, and it's all online on Canvas. That's our only class on Canvas, just because our school's transitioning from Sakai to Canvas. So they're doing it by department. Right now, the religion department and the writing department happen to be on Canvas. So all our homework's due before class. Class is at like 12:50. I think it's due at 11:55 a.m. So like literally right before class, or an hour before class. I'm not 100% sure, but I always do it the night before anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Homework's fairly easy. The first one was I think 3 questions, and that one we had to teach the Bible. Last Tuesday's homework was 2 questions, but like 2A, 2B. That one, I don't remember how we did it. And then today's homework, we had to watch videos and answer questions on that. It was 2 questions, 2 parts of 2 questions. And they're all out of 25 points. And yeah, we also have to write an exegetical, which is basically a writing about a certain passage or whatever from the Bible. Not my favorite thing. I wrote one for my Exodus class, not my favorite thing. I didn't get the best grade on that, but now that I know what I'm doing, kind of, I could do better on this paper, hopefully. Just because that class we were given a passage and we will have to write a paper about that passage. This time, from what I read from the syllabus, is we get to choose our own passage and write a paper on it, so hopefully that'll be easier and I can write up a better paper than a passage I did not like at all. The next class is my favorite class. It's my creative writing fiction class. Yes, I'm an English major. I love writing. It's kind of why I wanted to be an English major. So it's a given that my favorite class actually my favorite class to date, like from all my classes I've taken, is this class. So you know, it's a creative fiction class. It's mostly a workshop class. In the 2 weeks that we've had class, I can tell you that, and I can't really, it's mostly writing. So it's kind of weird how we do it, but we have one textbook. It's the Best American Short Stories 2016 book. This one's edited or put together by Junto Diaz. There's like several thousands of, not several thousands, there's a lot of these from different years. We just happen to be using 2016 one. And the way that we have classes is he doesn't assign readings a lot, but he assigns readings the days we have writing assignments for the most part. The first Wednesday of classes, we have to read Apollo by Chimamanda Adichie, and he gave us a prompt from that story. So like, he gives us a story and he gives us a prompt that basically is like the plot of that story, because it's kind of vague, but once you read the story you understand. So like the first writing prompt was write about a character, what a character has covered up about someone he has just learned something new about. So like the story itself was just like, this guy, he knew this guy that worked for his family, he found out that he got arrested for something, and then the rest of the story is just him revealing what he was hiding about that guy that he had known and was covering up. So basically he has to write a story kind of like that. I wrote a short story like that. I don't want to show you just because I just don't want my story out there. I'm going to show you the back of this, but this is my story. We have to do a 1-page writing on it, and we write a bunch of like 1-page or whatever page short stories, and I think starting week 4 we are going to start working on like our actual short story. So we can either take the scenes, sorry, this is not a short story, this is a scene, but we can take the scenes that we start and base the story off of that, or start a whole new idea. As of right now, I have 2 scenes already written, one's turned in, and I'm waiting for the grade on that. I'll get it back tomorrow. Then the other one's the one I just showed you the back of, and he gives you a grade. The way he gives grades is that he puts a check plus, check minus, plus minus. So the highest grade you can get is a check plus. I have a check plus on this one. I have a check plus on another writing assignment I did for him, but that was not a story. It was a story, but it was like point of view, whatever. He was teaching us about point of view that day, and he wrote like on mine. I'm gonna try to do my best with this, but like, so like there's my check plus, and then right here he wrote promising, meaning that that scene itself has enough promise to be its own story if I choose to develop that more, or if I choose to use that as my story for this class. I think there's a final, and the final is just reviewing what we talked about, like plots, different type of point of view, whatever. So far we've only talked about plot and point of view. We're gonna talk about dialogue soon. The fourth class I'm gonna be talking to you about is my second English class. The first one was creative fiction. I'm taking 3 this semester, just to play catch up because I changed majors last semester. But this class is my literacy critical strategies class, which you know, this is not my favorite class. It's not my least favorite class, I can tell you that. I'll tell you what my least favorite class is when I get to it. For this class we have, sorry, not one, we have 2 books. The other one was right here, but this is the one we've been reading so far, which is Criticism Major Statements, 4th edition. And then we have this book, which is Beginning Theory, but she said this is an optional book, and it didn't say that on the book site. She said the first day of class I already bought it, but she sometimes scans pages of books because there's another optional book that I didn't get because it wasn't on the book site. I wish I did, but right now it's too expensive, so I'm not going to buy it. She'll scan pages for us to read, but I don't like it because sometimes the pages or the paragraphs or whatever is like cut off. It just makes it more difficult for us to read. But so far it's a bunch of reading. This book is like book of like, I want to say essays, but it's not essays, it's just writings about criticism, I guess. So like, we've read, I think 4 authors in this book so far. We've read Plato, Aristotle, can't remember how to say it, like Longinus or whatever, and Horace. And basically we read them 2 at a time. So we read Plato and Aristotle together because their views on whatever the topic was were conflicting. We read Longinus and Horace together because their topics were conflicting. We just went over a class today and I actually understood a lot more than I thought I did. But this book's annotated. I'll talk more about my annotation system in another video. The other book, like I said, we have not gotten into it. Oh, I lost it. So here. The other book, we haven't gotten into it, and probably read like 1 or 2 things from it. But this one's not the one that matters the most. The other one does. It's a difficult class. So far the readings have been really hard, and that's just because she wants us to read chronologically. So that's why we started with like Plato and Aristotle. Soon we'll get to like, I don't know where we'll get to, honestly. Let me check real quick. C.S. Lewis and Johnson, Tolstoy. Oh damn, I'm reading Tolstoy soon. We'll read about those, and we'll talk about them in class. So we do the reading. We have to write five papers, but the best part about those papers is that technically there's no due date. Say we're learning about something on Thursday, so Tuesday she'll tell us you can write your papers on this thing. Like I don't know what we're doing Tuesday, but we could write like our own like manifesto type of thing, because I think that's basically what we're gonna read on. No, I think that's what we read today, and it's due before that lecture. So my final class, my least favorite class, the bane of my existence, which I've said a lot on this channel, which is not a lie, is my American Literature to 1865 course. This class, we have 3 books. Yeah, we have 3 books. I have 4 books here, but I'll talk about that in a second. We're reading books from American literature, from basically the dawn of American literature up to the year 1865. With that being said, right now, in the first 3 weeks, we are starting a novel. We are reading Harriet Beecher Stowe's Uncle Tom's Cabin, which is a 45-page book, or 45-chapter book. Yeah. I started annotating it. I have to annotate a lot more. I'm up to chapter 28, but it doesn't look like it just because there's not the sticky flags sticking out, but if you go to the end of each chapter, there's a pink sticky. I also have to go back and summarize the chapters that I read, but I didn't, finish summarizing. This is a heavy book. Sometimes I get lost in the meaning, so I also purchased for my own benefit the Cliff Notes. That way when I'm done with the chapter, I go to it and I understand what I just read in depth, just so I can, be prepared for quizzes, just in case. It'd be like, interpret this. I'm like, oh god, I can't. But then if I read that, it's a little bit like, I kind of can, and get a good enough grade. We took a quiz on the first 28 chapters yesterday, and I got 2 wrong, which is good. I could have done a lot worse. Then the other 2 books are just set. I think it's a set of technically 5, but we only have 2 of them that we're reading from. And it's the Heath Anthology of American Literature, A and B. A covers beginnings to the 1800s, and then B goes from early 19th century, so it's 1800s to 1865. Exactly. These are the 7th editions, and they're big. Luckily, we're not reading all of them. We're just reading parts from them, and yeah, this class is just. It's a really short class period. It's only 55 minutes, so there's only so much we can do in that time period. Yeah, that's about it. If you want to see more like college related videos or me talk about my classes, then check out my weekly vlogs, because I talk a little bit about my classes then. But also comment down below if you want like a specific detail about something, or if you want a specific video, just let me know in a comment down below. My job here is to cater to my viewers, especially those who are college curious, because I know I was out once upon a time, a few years ago. And yeah, but that's it for this week's video. If you like it, give a big thumbs up. If you want to see more of me, subscribe to my channel. I post videos every Saturday and Sunday. If you want to hear more from me, go ahead and follow me on all my social media accounts. All those links will be in the down bar below. And just say hi. Hi. Let me know. Let me know if you're actually like clicking the links and following me via this YouTube channel, because I don't know if that's working or not. I'll see you all next week with a new weekly video, but until then,